bigger result than you're imagining because you're not getting information from that fascial material. You're getting information only from the muscles. When you come out, you wouldn't expect that rate or that change. So let me talk to that. So your both scapulas before were much more lifted up on your back, rotated outward, and lifted up and forward. And so as we stretch that one, the whole scapula now has come down your back, has rotated downward, has come onto your chest wall more. And then the arm is longer and more externally rotated here. Whereas the other arm is more internally rotated.
Yeah, I didn't even see that.
So it changed the external rotation of your arm, and it lifted you up on that whole side of your body in terms of your pelvis and leg. So you're getting pushed up by that whole part of your body because your lat is now not flexing your lumbar spine and pulling your pelvis into flexion. So as I stretch that arm, your pelvis on that side gets to extend. And when that happens, your whole leg starts to push up that whole part of your trunk on that side. And that's a permanent architectural change inside of your body. That's not muscular. That will now be like that forever, assuming no negative, traumas come into the body. You already now have a different body. And the question is, how much body do you need to do whatever you want to be doing? Are you aware also that it affected your face on that side? Do you see how much more relaxed your face is on that side?
I feel it.
You feel it, right? Can you see it also in the mirror?
Yeah, this side is kind of locked up.
That's right, yes. So you didn't even know probably that your face was that tense.
No.
But the muscle groups that go from your upper trunk and arm go into your neck and face.
Yeah.
And so as you take that tension out, the face gets to relax instead of being tense. So you look very much like the Mona Lisa now, where the two sides are pretty different, right? The two sides of the face are pretty different.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah. And if you face the mirror again, and if you lift up both arms and just move them, you'll see how different the two arms move.
Oh my. Just look how much farther that arm
Yes,
is.
I can see it, yeah.
Can't even get it up at that angle. And this one feels...
Right, the other arm can't even make the
It
movement.
can't even go back that.
No, it can't make that movement
No.
yet. So now you know that if James was golfing and he was trying to make a movement, the body can't make the movement. It's not a mental problem.
Nope.
The person's obviously, people are smart enough. The problem is they don't have a body that can actually do it, and it's the fascial material that's been traumatized that's stopping them from actually moving. And all you have to do is remove that through self-stretches or assisted stretches, and now the person, they want to make a movement with their arm to play pool or to golf, and the arm makes the exact ideal movement that they've always wanted to make. Because if you're playing golf, your attention can't be locked up into you trying to control your body, otherwise you can't have your attention outside on the golf and all the elements that need to be considered. So the more you free the person to have their natural body, the more their attention, as they're deferring to their body, and their body is showing them how to make the movement, their attention gets to go out and they get to take in much more content.
Yes.
So then they actually get to play golf. Otherwise they can't play because they're locked up inside.
Totally.
Right?
That was my whole experience playing golf.
Torture.
Mental torture. Yeah. I'm truly feeling my body flow for the first
now
time.
I'm going to tell you something that I've told him, but I think it's going to go in.
Yes.
Most people know that when there's a negative experience outside, that they don't want to be taken in that experience. When a person's trained, they can actually take in that experience and process it. But what they don't know is it's much harder to take in a positive experience than it is a negative. And the reason why is because when you take in a positive, you're now getting satisfaction. And so whatever you've been repressing will start to rise. And so that's why people in Hollywood self-destruct. When all of a sudden they get all that attention and things start working, every moment is an amazing moment for them. All their shit starts to rise. And if they're not educated, they can't handle the borderline qualities that show up when they're feeling like a star. So for anybody playing golf, and the better the course, it is so unbelievable, the timing of the plants and the respect to the nature of the situation. It's so extraordinary that most golfers get distracted by the beauty, just like most people would do be about a negative, and they actually have to process that positive, otherwise it takes their attention off of the golf that they're doing. So that's the trick in golf courses, is that you go by this beautiful tree, you see this beautiful tree, and then that's exactly where your ball goes, because you didn't look at the tree enough and process your connection to that tree. Or if you walk past a swamp to go to your drive, where you're going to drive the ball, and you didn't look at it enough, your ball's going to try to get away from the swamp. So the unusual thing about people is that the positive is much more complicated. Like most guys, if they see a girl that they're attracted to, they become catatonic. They can't even move, they turn to stone. So, and they think, oh, they so rarely find somebody they're attracted to. So now when they do, they don't know what to do because they've had no practice. But instead, if you develop a person, they get to find out what's really attractive about everybody they meet. And then when they meet a person, they interface with what they find attractive about that person. So they develop their skill at relating and connecting and attaching to what they're attracted to. And then when they meet somebody they're really attracted to, they practice. And so they're relaxed and excited and get to be with them and get to absorb the other person being with them. That's how that works. So that's the most complicated thing about the golf. The first part would be that people don't know to learn how to defer to their body, because when they do, they can't even move the clubs. So their body needs to be changed so that they can actually super enjoy themselves when they're making those movements, right? And the second thing, it's a very positive situation in some ways, and they need to know how to give all the attention they want to something that's positive, until their mind says, thanks, I have that information now. I now need to pay attention to this. I now need to look at that slope of the grass. I now need to pay attention to my foot more. Because see, when you do any activity, you have a representative mind. The moment you choose the idea of what you want to work with, that idea, not you, decides what you pay attention to. So when you want to practice, say, golf or tennis or anything, dating, whatever you're doing, say you're golfing, the moment you decide you want to golf, that idea in your head goes, could you pay attention to the right ankle, please? I need some information about the right ankle.
Absolutely.
You're like, I don't want to pay attention to my right ankle. It's like, please don't argue with me. Could you I just need some more information about the right ankle. And then I can get it to move the way I need it to move. And then it goes, could you pay a little bit more attention to the slope of that grass over there? And can you notice that at this time of day it changes direction compared to earlier in the daytime? And can you notice the moisture factor? And did you notice that wind starting to change? It's starting to go a little more southwest instead of south. And that idea directs your attention inside and outside in order to learn the 10,000 things you need to know to do any one thing. And when you've done that, you're a master. So I mastered swimming, so when I get in the water and you watch me swim, the idea is running the activity. I chose swimming. And then there's no telling what that idea wants me to pay attention to. But when you do master something, because mastery is a mental phenomena where you've allowed your mind to organize, to govern what you're doing, then when I swim, the water is now the teacher. Could you turn your arm this way a little bit more, please? I need to hone that part of your body so I can slip through, so you can slip through me a little more. When you push down over here, could you make sure that your right leg kicks down in that direction? Because we'll get more of the rotational turbine force I need in order to go through the water. The water becomes your teacher. That's what ends up happening when you master. So I watch James golf, and what happens is that based on his state and what's happening and the changes in his body and deferring to his body, and he's talented, so it's an unusual situation. So what happens is that he's not there trying to kill the ball. He's like, everything's telling him how to do that. So when you watch the great golfers, in my view, everybody has really great views. In my view, what they do is they take that ball, and if you watch James, he's not trying to kill the ball. He's getting to that ball and he's lifting that ball up. He's like, hey, let me lift you up and show you where we. And then as he's lifting this up, all this content is coming in and altering his body so that the ball ends up going to where it actually needs to be going, not just where he's thinking it should go. That's how that works. Does that make any sense?